Hello again. Welcome back. I made a few improvements and today I'm going to show you around. So there was a small change here. So this system right here is working out great. So that motivated me to address this area. And as you can see, there's been significant improvements. I removed a couple of my furnaces to make way for this. I don't use them that much. That's the whole wall of furnaces is used pretty seldom. But it's nice to have when I need it. The copper golems are hard at work, putting things away. We've got our pointed dripstone. I'll be putting some dripstone here. I've got my iron over here. I've got two places for iron. There's a reason for this one and these poppies. And then I've got my two tall flowers. I'm putting bamboo in all three of these because that's just getting made in the basement. And then we've got honey, some paper, we've got some bone meal. Still more things need to be plugged into this. But basically what's going on underneath this chest and this chest is a dropper elevator. And I'm going to show you a little bit more about that and how everything works. But first, take a look at these really cool windows in the side of the retaining wall of the structure. It's going to add more character. I would rather they be a little more symmetrical, but they look great. That gives me a system for, these are kind of like your foundational blocks. You've got your grass and dirt, you've got stone, cobblestone, cobbled deep slate and deep slate. You're going to come up with a lot of these blocks. The way that this works is if I end up with an inventory full of any of these, I just throw any and all of them into this box right here. If I have like just a ton of grass or dirt or whatever, I can just drop it into this bucket and unload like that. The copper golem back here, he's got, so you can only see two on the other side, but there's three on this side. So this is going to be grass and this is going to be grass, and any grass he puts in this it can only allow grass, and it only allows that one block, so he knows to put it in there. It's got just a simple item filter locking the hoppers below. So he'll fill this up. This is so that I can have grass on hand, dirt, stone, whatever. The variants, like you got, your steps and various other blocks that can be made with these items. And then the goal is, this is a place where I can just readily grab some, and if I need more, I go down in the basement And he'll either drop some in there or he'll drop it into the basement storage. And the entrance to this is probably going to change. But for now, this is just where it's at. It's been here for a while. But the floor of this level is down here, which really might get bigger, and the entrance to it might end up down here. We'll see. We'll see. Right now it's right here. These are the two dropper elevators that go up the two copper chests upstairs. And the way these work is all the sugar cane, which is backed up because there's an egg in the system. All the sugar cane is getting harvested upstairs, and it's going to come down into here, which turns it into paper, dropping it into these droppers. And then that comes over to this elevator. This elevator is pushing it up to that copper chest for the copper golem to put away. Another thing that's happening is, let's see, this over here. This is new. That was there before. I changed it a little bit. Instead of grabbing all the, this is probably bamboo. Instead of grabbing all the bamboo and storing it right here, it's now kicking into that box, which could just be a hopper, but it's kicking it into that box and dropping it into these hoppers after it makes, the blocks of bamboo. So it'll compress the bamboo into a block, drop it into that hopper. That's coming around this way, and then it goes up this elevator. And then that goes into the other copper chest for the copper golem to sort. Same thing's happening with this dripstone. When the dripstone's harvested, it's dropping in here. I can lock it if I want to collect it here for a while. But truthfully, I might just change that to straight hoppers going straight into the system. It's nice to have it upstairs. These are some slow farms, so they're not going to fill anything up too quick. It gives me just enough supplies for now. And that runs, of course, all the way to that elevator. Another thing running to this elevator, I wonder if I can get there from here. Right above here is the flowers that are 2 blocks tall. I made simple little harvesters for those. And so those flowers, when I turn those on, it's not just a steady, I don't have enough bone meal to pull that off. It's not a steady rate, but I can push a button and get one, or I can hit the lever and turn it on, and then all those flowers will come through here, go up to that copper golem to be sorted if I pull the lever. And all that's upstairs. The one wall has the sand, sandstone, gravel, and tuff. And that filters down here to sort of a deep storage. Eventually these will just be full. And then the same thing's going on over here. Don't mind this. This isn't really doing anything other than just showing me how to build these locks, which it's not set up right. But I played around with this just to kind of get a good idea. I'm not a pro redstoner. I'm still working on it. I think I'm doing fine though. I think I'm doing fine. I got some supplies coming. The same thing, we got our grass dirt, we got our stone, cobblestone, cobbled deep slate, and we've got our deep slate. And all that's from upstairs. I can lock this. Like, I think these ones look locked and this one's unlocked. That's the stone just filling up. Like, that's full to the top, honestly. But I've got this locked right here in case I need to come down here and grab dirt. There's also dirt down below. If I unlock that, that will just filter down below. And before I show you this way, I mean, it's kind of dramatic. Like, what I did down here, I am very proud of. And we're going to check that out in a minute. But I want to show you what I did. Might as well show you in chronological order. So after I kind of got a lot of that storage figured out, I decided I need iron. I need iron, and I need lots of iron. This guy's gonna be busy because that paper machine was backed up for a while. It's funny. So since I needed iron, I decided that I would just go ahead and pick a spot that was just a full, like this is a full block of just solid material up there. Up above here on the next level, I noticed when I was checking it out that there may be a space that was gonna allow for the escape of an iron golem if I built an iron farm. But I took this giant block, it's roughly 30 blocks solid cubed, 24 to 30, and I built myself a nice little iron farm. He seems to be spawning in the wall a lot. I don't understand that. That's kind of new. But it's working right along. Got my zombie in a boat. Got some beds. And 3 villagers. And some workstations. It breaks sometimes. It honestly just stops working. And then to see... And that's not the first time I've seen that. To see one of the golems actually spawning in the wall. So one thing I did to fix this, if it ever does break, is I made this section where I can just kind of let them out. It gives them another place to go. To get it working again. Sometimes I can just lure them out here with... Yeah, the sand. Nothing's working. These guys are just dumb today. They just don't want to cooperate. Like, I mean... You guys can't just see the danger. Can't you see the danger? There's nothing scary in there. Like the last time I did this, it reset the whole machine. Go on. Go on. So, I don't know what's up with that. At least it's reset now. Keep that thing rolling. I'll figure it out later. But that... Let's see... That's what's going into this machine down here. So that filters out the poppies right here. And the poppies come this way and go into the system. And they just kind of bypass this whole bit. But the iron just keeps on going, flows down into here, gets compressed into a block, and then that goes into the system to travel to the dropper elevator. And carry it up to my storage, which is, I think that's really cool. So, it was pretty tricky. This is the first... I'm not the most inhumane person. I'm not just making an iron farm all willy-nilly. Like, I gave it a lot of thought. And, I'm not the kind of guy that's just going to be mean to some random Minecraft creatures for no reason. This gentleman here is serving a purpose. And to be truthful, he's made of iron, and he's a golem, which means he's just a robot. Like, he's just a robot. And if you're concerned for the safety and well-being of these villagers, well, I provide them with entertainment and plenty of food every now and then if something goes wrong. And since this was my very first iron farm, I looked at a couple different tutorials on how to make an iron farm, and I what I did is I just attempted to take those tutorials and just be like, okay, I understand the concept of how it works, and just make my own. In the end, I believe I ended up with something that's almost exactly like one or two of the tutorials that I had watched. So I can't really credit who made those, but it's basically the basic, the most simple iron farm you can make. Essentially, there's really a lot of tutorials out there, and so I selected several, watched them, and then I went and attempted to make it. I messed it all up. I made it wrong. Just a simple configuration of where the beds and the workstations and the position of the zombie and things like that. So, I mean, I guess I could have just watched a tutorial and copied it exactly. But no, I had to go through the trial and error part. And now I understand how it works, why it needs to be this way. And I highly recommend that. Instead of just blindly following tutorials, try to just play around with it. You can try to understand. See if you can try to understand the redstone more. That's kind of been my goal. That's what I'm about. I set out on this Minecraft journey to really try to learn redstone. I feel like I have the capacity to be good at it eventually. And so that's why I'm always building little redstone machines that are kind of basic. They'll eventually get more advanced, I'm sure. The dropper elevator, I'm using it a lot. I like it better than a water stream. I feel like if I had to travel further, I would definitely do a water stream. But bringing the iron up here, that's just perfect. Having the central location for all of my stuff and being able to pipe them into this room is going to be really, really convenient. And when I built this iron farm, like, as you know, you have to get a zombie. So the zombies, actually, I was like very happy that I did this. But I built this little sort of kind of fighting arena thing. And straight down right here is pretty much where the zombie actually needed to be. So it was just too perfect. I just made a little hole and dropped him on down. Zombies away. Like, he just fell right into place, jumped in his boat. That part was super duper simple. Super duper simple. And then I've already got this rail in place. So I was just able to sort of reconfigure it and run it on down to, I have a villager tower for trading that I've been developing. It's got plenty of villagers in it and plenty of beds. So I went and I realized I didn't have enough bread, so I grabbed up some bread, made some bread. I had to chop down a bunch of wheat, replant it real quick, of course. And then after making the bread, I went to the village. Well, the village tower. And this room is so noisy. So bread in hand, I went to the village tower and I went to a group of villagers and gave them some food. And next thing you know, I had a little baby villager, goofy looking little 1 block tall things. And I was able to get them in a minecart and roll them on back to the iron farm and dropped them right where he needed to be. It was my first time moving a villager like that without any help, and it was pretty easy. I happy to report that it wasn't that difficult. and so I needed to do that at least twice, and then so I did that twice, and then I fed the two that were in the chamber, finished up the chamber and reconfigured it, and then probably over the course of 5 or 6 hours, I played around with it, reconfigured it, watched it work, watched it break, wondered, reconfigured it, moved things around, killed some villagers on accident, got beat up by the zombie a bunch, and moved the zombie a little and closed things in and blah 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 blah, and eventually I think I got it right, but it's obviously still a little off. So at least I have a way to reset it when things break. And once that was done, it was time to address the bees. The bees have been a thing that they weren't the prettiest. Like at the very beginning, like bees were one of the first things I made. I don't even know why, just because I could. They were there, and so they were sticking on top of my cave I was living in, that eventually turned into this base. And then I decided I wanted them down here, and I've talked about it a little bit. The spot that I wanted to put them really wasn't the right spot. It really wasn't the right spot. So what ended up happening with the spot that I was going to put them is that turned into sort of a park. And the bees went over there. So, and then I decided to make it look nice with the honeycomb, but I need to get about 3 more nests. I think the nests look better, so I'll be out looking for nests soon. The bees were pretty difficult themselves, mostly because I accidentally hit them, and then they would sting me and die. It was kind of scary. I thought like maybe I was going to lose them forever. Want to make sure I've got plenty of bees. Let's see, can we do 2 more? No, that little bee just ate that flower. Well, it's good enough for now. Oh, did I trap one in there? Ah, I was wondering if that was ever going to happen. Shoot. There we go. Go on. Goofy things. Now there's 2 of them in there. Wait, how did you get out? Aw, shoot. Now I gotta go get a lead. He's for sure gonna cause problems now. So, needless to say, I just finished the bees. And while I'm getting this lead, how about you take a little look at how it went? I was gonna do 4 because I already had 4, but it just looked silly. Also, I was going to have them recessed in the wall, but I was told that they might get stuck in the wall, so I brought them out. And made 2 more. Oh my gosh. Well, at least these 2 are in here now. Come on. Okay, there should be 1 more out there. Oh, yep, and he's doing exactly what I was afraid they were gonna do. Come on. What in the world? You coming? Jeez. I cannot believe this. I thought for sure this would be a good system, but no. They're just hovering by the door all of a sudden. I know exactly what to do to fix this, and I'm just not going to do it right now. Okay, this is getting so annoying. Anyway, there's my bees, everybody. Yay. Oh my gosh, you're so annoying. Okay, I've got the solution for this. Ooh, I don't have my respiration anymore. In the process of messing around with the making the iron farm, I kind of messed up my armor a little bit. You might even notice that I don't have my diamond trim on my helmet anymore. Yep, I accidentally used lapis instead because I'm such a genius. I don't think they can go through that water now. So now I've got a way in and out that they can't use. Pretty noisy. What's all the buzz about? You know what? This is gonna bother me, so... Oops. I need to get respiration on my helmet, that's for sure. I was totally used to that. Okay, I can live with that. That's much better. Yeah, they're not getting in and out now. So now, this might even look better, you know? Probably gonna look better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's so much better. So much better. So, there's the bees. I present to you the bees. And then, yeah, I gotta have a honey clock. Let me know what time it is in here. You can't really see. So this stack of craziness right here is the deep storage. Like, I believe that stone is pretty much full all the way to the top. The next step is shulker boxes, and then all these are going to get compressed into shulker boxes and just put right back in the same place. I can see maybe eventually having a system where I can push a button up top and bring up a shulker box. But no, I'm pretty happy about that. The bees, the park, the removal of the old bees went pretty smooth. I gotta figure out what to do on top of this particular base now. I could just leave it like a dirt top. Part of me wants to do a roof similar to this one and this one. And honestly, it's probably a smart thing to do. I should do that right here. I might even do a level on top here. Right? So like there could be more structure up above. I don't know how I would climb up and down. There really isn't a whole lot of room to put some stairs in. Alright. Hey, well, thanks for taking a look at all of my upgrades to my base. I'm having a lot of fun. I've got a lot of plans. I'm going to be piping some different farms up to that area, and I'm going to keep them all within my main base. And does that introduce some lag? Yes, it does. It does, in fact, introduce some lag. So I'm going to try to keep these farms a little bit small, not too big, not too crazy, but I want a lot of useful items on hand. and I want the farms to really add to the aesthetic of the base if I can, like the bees here. I think this is a really cool way to do it. So thanks for taking a look. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. We'll see you next time.